All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello, and good morning. Well, it's morning right now when I'm recording this video, so hello and good morning, everybody. Today is the 28th of August, 2025. My name is Darius Anucauskas, and I'm the Chief Market Analyst here at Markets.com. Look, I wanted to do a quick little crypto update on what's happening, how the week has been progressing so far. I'm trying to do these crypto updates regularly on a weekly basis, basically. So, before we jump into the action, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, yes, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. I'm not going to disappear anywhere. So yes, the cryptos not the most exciting market right now, but still, let's see what's happening. Also, just a quick mentioning of our Markets.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist. Also, just a quick mentioning that today I'm holding a webinar on the MACD indicator. Now, it's one of the most popular ones, but the whole point is that we'll look into what it is. If you know this one and you're using it, that's fine. But basically, what I'm looking at here is what's how can we how to apply it on in real life action, and is it actually worth in general using it. So yeah, we'll look into that. So hey, tune in. It's a live session. We'll like I said, we'll make some trades, and yeah, we'll go from there, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Look, let's jump into the Bitcoin situation here, which is pushing back above that 23.6 here on the Fibonacci retracement, which is drawn from the lowest point of April to the highest point of August. Normally, I should say the current highest point of August, but something tells me that in the next kind of 4 days, we're not really going to see this one rallying all the way to the all-time high. So I think that this will remain the all-time high and also the highest point of August. So yeah, but the thing is that if we remove the noise here a little bit, if we remove the Fibonacci, we remove in general, if we do remove everything here and have a fresh look, you'll see that we are pushing back up, or at least trying to. We're climbing now back above this little hurdle right here, this inside swing low of the 3rd of August, and that's roughly around that 112,000 zone. I talked a lot about this. This was my go-to level. It was my upside it was my upside scenario, the barrier which I needed to see a break off in order to go higher. Well, which we did. We broke it, then we retested it, rebounded, pushed for an all-time high, which is basically around here. And then we drifted back down and fell back below this 112,000 zone. So, but now we're trying to climb back up. So in a way, we're kind of starting to ignore that 112,000 zone. Look, for now, I will keep it on the chart. However, I think I'm going to start getting rid of it very, very soon, because, well, let's face it, it seems like it might not be, not be the most important area to watch. So right now, what I would like to see here is I would like to see here a push back above this 50-day EMA, wherever it's going to be, or maybe even better, a push somewhere back above this inside swing low of the near the 114,700 zone. So if we do climb above it, then yes, great. More buyers could join in. We could see like a push back up here like this, but again, okay, I'm being very ambitious here, but there are still headwinds, for a move higher. In general, I think that we're seeing a little bit of profit taking across the board, and this little retracement right now, I think, is just kind of positioning for another drop lower. Look, in general, I'll remain bearish if we continue to struggle to overcome the 50-day EMA. However, I'll get a little bit more excited with the downside if we do fall below the 100-day EMA here, shown as the blue line. So if we do fall and stay below it, I'm going to lean a little bit more towards the downside. In the latest news that I saw, basically, that that kind of caught my eye was that we saw a fund in Hong Kong in a I think it was in Hong Kong selling a lot of bitcoins, around 24,000 bitcoins basically, and yeah, that was a big one, and we saw the crypto falling off, kind of, no, I wouldn't say falling off the cliff, but certainly it was a bit of a negative moment here, and we saw that decline. Now we're also seeing another piece of news is that the Hong Kong regulator and lawmaker, one of the Hong Kong regulators and lawmakers, kind of pulled out from the Bitcoin Asia conference, which is going to be happening soon. And the reason for that was that it will be attended by the U.S. president's son. So you can check out that information. I mean, his son Eric, yes, he will be attending that one, but and it's kind of, you could class it as a little bit of a maybe boycott, or maybe trying to avoid any speculation that they will be talking about something in there, so something like that. So again, a lot of things that we probably don't know and won't know, but the move is surely interesting, and it's not really impacting in any way the Bitcoin price, but yeah, or rate, I should say, or actually price, because you know what, it's now a question: is it an asset or is it a currency? Now again, I think we will be divided on this. I think that people will, will start debating a lot on this, because again, is it a currency or is it an asset? If it's an asset, then it's a price. If it's a currency, then it's a rate. So yeah, this is, like I said, this is the big question right now that we're looking at, and regulators are also going to be looking in this as well. So let me, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comments what you think. Is this going to be, is Bitcoin an asset, or is it a currency? What do you believe? Because look, if we go to the Satoshi Nakamoto, his original idea, from what you read, this needs to be somehow checked, of course, but from what you read in the news, that it is a currency. It is a currency, and that's what the whole purpose of Bitcoin. But the way the ETFs went, I think it's more now seen as an asset. So, and something tells me that this could actually lead to Bitcoin becoming more of an asset. And it's because, again, we have those ETFs. We have the Bitcoin ETF. We have the Ethereum ETF, and Vanguard and BlackRock are those guys who are involved in kind of delivering this ETF to the wider public. So in a way, yeah, I think it falls under the SEC, and yes, I think eventually Bitcoin will become an asset. But again, let me know what you think, because again, this is a very interesting and very sensitive subject for everybody, and at the moment we're, I think, in this evolution stage where we're trying to determine what cryptos will be. In my opinion, certain cryptos will be currencies, certain cryptos will be assets. Again, I don't know how that's going to work, but something kind of, some cryptos do behave more like currencies and some like more like assets. Bitcoin probably could be falling into the asset category. However, again, let's see how this is going to play out. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, going further, Bitcoin Cash, looking at this one. Look, I talked about the rising channel idea here. We broke below the lower side of it, initially stayed below it. I was leaning towards the downside and said that as long as we stay below the 50-day EMA and this lower side of the rising channel, I'm going to continue targeting the downside. What we did, we pushed back inside the channel. However, are we climbing back above the 563 territory? Well, not really. And yeah, it's At the moment, I need that push here. But you know what? I think the further I'm looking at this, the more I'm actually looking at this, the more I'm getting interested in this scenario, the break of this area, this territory, this line here taken from the highest point of August. If we can clear this downside line, I'm gonna get a little bit a little bit more comfortable with the upside. Ethereum, another popular one. Look, we saw some profit taking. We hit a new all-time high. Came very close to testing that psychological 5,000 zone, but hey, the market saw this as well, and maybe it was way too obvious, and there we go. We saw the profit taking kicking in. Look, I'm not, like I said, I'm not denying that there could be some more downside. However, at this point, purely from the technical perspective, there is a chance for a drift lower, but then a possible rebound if this upside line holds. To get a little bit more comfortable with the downside, I think I would need to take a very conservative approach here and wait for a drop below that 4,100 zone, somewhere around here. Maybe at the same time, we could drop below the 50-day EMA and potentially more sellers could join in. Ripple is just loving that 3 level, and honestly, it's. Am I getting very bullish on this one? No. Yes, we're above all my EMAs here on the daily chart, but to be honest, for that extra confirmation, a break of this downside line for me would be needed. If we can get that move, wonderful. I'll go to the upside. For the downside, a drop below the 100-day EMA is needed here. If we can get that drop, I'll consider a move lower. Litecoin, beautiful rebound from this 106.60 zone. And if we do drop below that and we do fall below the 100-day EMA, then yes, great, more sellers here could join in. We could aim for that 200-day EMA or even this upside line right here, which is drawn from the lowest point of April. Long story short, if you're looking at some lower levels, then probably just wait for a drop below that 106.60. For the downside, for the upside, a break of this downside line would be required. Dogecoin. Let's have a look at this one. A little bit of a messy chart here, I would say, but we can get rid of this upside line, no longer needed. But also, I'm looking at this 200-day EMA. If we can clear it, my next target is the 0.1883, and then we'll take it from there. For the upside, yes, a break of this downside line is needed, taken from the high of the 21st of July, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Polkadot is a good one here, and we're coiling up in a way after this big strong decline. We retraced back up here, but look, I said it before and I'll say it again. I need a clearance through one of the sides here of this triangle, or basically a clearance of one of these trend lines. If we can get that, then yes, great. I will consider the next short-term directional move. And finally, Tron. Now this one had a good drop here. This is perfect. This is very technical, and it has. It had moved nicely, but look at this 0.3439. I talked about this hurdle before. Yes, we violated it, but somehow we still continue to trade above it. So I need a clearance again of that hurdle. If we can get that move, wonderful. I will consider a move to the downside. For now, what I'm looking at here is the 0.3538 for the upside. This upside line no longer needed. We can get rid of it. So if we can push above the 0.3538, I will consider a little bit of a move back up here towards the 0.3682 zone, which has been so far the highest point of August. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this helps. Oh, by the way, in terms of Tron, just kind of got into my head here. These levels here, yes, they're good, but of course, what I'm looking at here is this little box that we're currently in. So we might end up ranging for a little bit, so just kind of keep that in mind. And this 0.3538, which I talked about for the upside, is kind of a midpoint in this, almost the midpoint in this box. So hey, if we clear it, we could go towards the upper side of it. And now we're done. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. I really hope you found it useful. Don't forget to register for the webinar, which is happening today. So check it out. You can find the link in the description of this video. Yeah, I'll be more than happy to see you there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. As always, stay safe, have your stop losses in place, risk only what you can afford to lose. Don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.